What's the question?
About UX. How can you get on UX? What's UX? What does it do?
Bankulli, I don't think Instagram live. What's the question?
That's the question.
Yes, of course. We'll be in Ghana first quarter of next year. What is the market space for UX? So essentially, we discovered that from Africa, we've always had a problem. So there's a gap. There's something we're actually trying to solve here. The big platforms, Apple, Spotify, Tidal, if you think about it, who are the top 10, top 20, top 100 earners on those platforms? Yes, Spotify has paid out about 10.7 billion euros so far. But how much have African artists generated from those platforms? Now, what we decided to do with UdoX is to have our own for Africa. And it took us about almost 3 years to renegotiate with the international labels for them to agree that even on those platforms, even though we would have the same tracks that Apple or Spotify would have, so that's why we've done deals with the international record labels, so the likes of Universal and Warner now, and then Sony coming on. Even though we've done the deals with them, we're mainly going to have the music on the platform.
Same music you consume on Spotify.
We're mainly going to be promoting African artists. So I want the next Wizkids, the next Davidos, I want them to be heard. Just today, Bankulli and I, there's some artists we were checking out from Ghana, extremely talented. You know, these are the kind of people that we want to be able to give them a chance for people to hear them and for them to generate revenues. So the reason why you have the Western artists generating all the revenues on those other platforms is because they're the ones receiving the huge marketing budgets. They're the ones that are, when you open up your Apple Music or your Spotify, those are the ones that you would see first, and that's what people will consume first. So what we've done here is say, okay, yes, we'll have the same tracks, but we want to promote African artists. We want to show you the next stars. Everyone keeps talking about the guys that have been reigning for the last 4 or 5 years, but I tell you that there are up-and-coming artists that are extremely talented. If you could give them the chance to be heard, if you could put some budget behind them in terms of marketing, you'll be shocked that people will be like, okay, man, right now music is all about marketing. If you create a wonderful track but people don't hear it, you know, you're not going to make any money from it. So what we've done here is to build a platform with the same technology and the same quality as those other international platforms, and also the same legalities. So we've incorporated your publishing and the percentage that go to publishing, so that even the songwriters and the producers will get revenues from it. We've also, in conjunction with all the different collecting societies and the publishers, we've now decided to do it the right way. And we're starting first. Hello?
Yeah.
And we're starting first with Nigeria. Bankulli, please let me open the doors, the driver. We're starting first with Nigeria, then we move to other parts of West Africa. So right now, we're actually ingesting tracks from Ghana also, because first quarter of next year, I mean, right now you can actually access the app from anywhere. If you're in Ghana, if you're in UK, in London, you can actually open up the app now. If you go to your app store or your Play Store, any of them on Android and on Apple, you can actually download the app right now. But the reason why we're not big on pushing it out in those regions now is because we haven't started doing the marketing now there, right? So essentially, right, by early next year, we would have completed all the ingestion of tracks. We're ingesting about 35 to about 45,000 tracks per day. So because of the international labels and because of all the other aggregators here, it takes time to actually get all that music in. But the platform is live right now. Now, I'm seeing so many questions here.
Mm-hmm. How can I put my music on there?
Please, I need a chance, please. Okay.
You pay now. Some writer be this one where you this one.
We pay for studio and promotions, yet nothing to show. Ha ha ha. So the guy is actually buttressing what I was actually. So I've been in the industry for about 18 years, right? And so to give you a little bit of what we used to do. So we used to make a lot of money from the telcos, right? So we used to do what you call ringback tunes for MTN. I had an office in Ghana, I had an office in Cote d'Ivoire, in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And I used to run the first publicly quoted VAS company. So we're PLC. Now, but we noticed that we normally used to work for the mobile operators. So the percentages that we used to get was actually too small. When we started streaming, we started streaming on MTN, and artists were getting just about 7.5%. So with that, about 9 years ago, I used to represent Sony Music for West Africa. And then the labels told us that, look, this cannot work. The revenue sharing can't work. That we need to find a way. Someone in Africa needs to build their own, not a Chinese company coming to do it, not a Swedish or a European company. It's the same thing that's happened in India, in China. These are continents that can boast of their own platform. Why don't we have one in Africa that is truly, really African, that will showcase African artists and African talent, that would put a high percentage of their budget to push artists? And why don't we have, even though these your artists from Africa are so big, but I tell you, they're not amongst the top 100 earners on any of those other platforms. Why? You've got over 1 billion people in Africa. Why can't we generate the money to go back to the artists? So what we did is to get the international labels to help us to structure the back end. So for example, you know how Tidal is, you know what the payouts, people are happy with the payouts from those other platforms, right? Why don't we have the same thing?